Hello everybody and welcome to another toy review. In today's video I'm taking a look at the Kickstarter edition of the first product from Mayhem Mekanics. This is the Unrustables Bastards. My friend actually loaned me this just for the review. He said I really need to check these guys out because they are something else. So here we go, let's take look. I have been following the Unrustables Bastards for quite some time, at least what 3-4 years in the making these have been now, but unfortunately I missed out on the Kickstarter. I really wanted to be part of it, but you know, money's money. So luckily enough I have friends. Woo! Let's take a look around the box. First of all, amazing artwork, loving the artwork on these. And just take a look at the back here. We have a quick bio there telling us about the Unrustable. Again, we have this great artwork, kind of Marvel Comics style, scattered beyond the products themselves. And of course, the bottom of the box gives us a big red warning. And these are produced by Mass Toys. The figure comes housed in a 2-tier plastic clamshell system, and we also get this fantastic patch to sew on to your jacket. This is an incredibly awesome extra. Right, now before we look at the Unrustable, let's take a look at the additional accessories. First off, we get a secondary head for the rider or pilot, whatever you want to call him. This couldn't be any more Cassie if they tried with the big old chin. It's got like a bullet being bitten there. Personally, I do prefer the head on there, but this is all about options, so you can chop and change these as you see fit. We get additional faceplates for the larger of the two. Nice sculpting there, nice battle damage, the crack on the face there. And then we get the full helmet visor coming over the face. We get additional hip skirt pants, and then we come into the artillery. We get a pistol. These are all done to an exceptionally high standard. The production quality feels fantastic. I have to rate it up there, obviously, with the likes of Mass Toys, but personally I think it's easily comparable to the likes of, say, Unique Toys. Mastermind, I say Mastermind Creations, I think it's probably slightly better than them, somewhere between kind of MMC and Unique Toys. I think these are really done to a very high standard. They feel incredible. Each one of these guns has a hinged handle. They just look really, really nice. A lot of thought has gone into the production of these. I'm so glad they got funded, even if I had nothing to do with that. Love that saw. Look at that double-handled saw, fairly sharp actually, and great silver paint on there. I can imagine a few people kind of painting these up with maybe green stains where they've been chopping through the enemy and they've got kind of energon blood or something on them. Right, so really my understanding of this set is that you have the ability to customize, you make your own characters up. We're given enough parts here to make up either Iride, who's kind of the hero. He has that masked face, and this helmet for his rider. Or we can make Burley, who's the road captain. He's the one with that cigar. Obviously, depending on who we choose, we can also pop these panels out on his legs, and that's where we bring in these. Line that up there. So see, this little guy folds up and forms part of the main bot as well. And dependent on who you choose, dependent on what you do. But again, these are all different parts that we can just chop and change. I'm actually really liking what I'm seeing so far. Let's check out the articulation. His head is crazy. All the way back. We can go left and right. We can tilt side to side. We have a butterfly joint there, all the way up, all the way around. We have upper bicep rotation. We get a double jointed bend on the elbow. We get rotation on the wrist there. I'm liking the resistances on these arms. There's an up and down motion on the shoulder as well. I would like more ratchets maybe, but beggars can't be choosers. He could probably, bend a lot there. There's a waist rotation. Legs can come all the way forwards, all the way back, out to the side. Upper thigh rotation. Nice deep bend on that knee. The feet can go up and down, left and right, which is what I love. I love left and right motion on a foot, as well as pivoting. So the rider himself is highly articulated. If we just take a look at the bike, first off, must say it's a gorgeous orange and black combination. We get a hard plastic on the tires, but man, do they look like rubber. And if you look just to the side here, we actually get some pistols, so our rider can be going along and he could shoot his enemies. We get pegs on here so we can tab in the weapons. Basically, these are a hook system, so they come out. You can rotate the said hooks and just tab the guns on. I love the freedom this creates. That's quite a scary process, getting those to hook on. The resistance has definitely been tried and tested, but that is a very, very secure tabbing system. Whew. Nearly destroyed my entire fingers. Right, let's just slide that back down. So we've got a lot of articulation on the guns as well. Let's just pop our rider in. As you can see, there's a tab on the back there, so he can sit rather nicely inside that seat, and we can just tab his back in, so he not going anywhere. There we go, he's tabbed in nicely. Bring his legs down, put his feet on. We've got there, we've got a pedal there. You got to change the gears, yep. And we have lovely handlebars. Nice and easy to put the hands on those handlebars there. And he's got his brake and his clutch, and we've got some mirrors there. Can't have a bike without multiple mirrors. And there he is. He looks ruddy marvelous, doesn't he? Take a quick look at his scale. He's a really nice figure. I mean, that is a large Voyager to a leader size figure. We've got MP10 Sideswipe, and we've also got one of the Jinbao oversized Generation Toys Constructicons. He is an amazing biker figure. It's been a long time coming, but finally we have some nice transforming cycles, kind of bridging the gap between GoBot's Sidekill and Retgar and his Junkions. I see these as coming from another dimension, a dimension where motorcycles rule, man are gone, and they've kind of evolved into these mechanized suits. And I spin too many stories in my head, don't I? The bike is also incredibly nicely balanced. I mean, these act as stabilizers. It does still roll, but it does tilt side to side, but that's basically because it's designed to be posed. You could have it on the shelf, his legs can be coming down, he can pull off the gun, he could be shooting out. There's a lot of different options for these, and I think that's their biggest selling point, is how customizable these figures are. You can have 5 or 6 people with exactly the same figure, and they all look completely different. Now, let's get him transformed up into his combined mode. Your first port of action is you really want to remove these weapons. They are really uber stiff. And let's remove our rider as well. Just pop him off. Really am genuinely very impressed with these. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel. You know, you kind of get hyped up for something for so long and you're worried that it's not going to live up to what you would expect, and thankfully it does. These are tabbed in. You want to just untab them from there, and this is actually going to come out and up and to the side. You want to do that with both sides. Pull this back piece down, pull the front panel down away from the windshield, and these pieces are going to come down, and these are going to form the feet. So we just give that a little swivel at the thigh, rotate the armour around to the outside of the thighs, which now allows the legs to drop in there nicely. This piece here, you want to just rotate the head down, which allows us to bring the handlebars up, and you want to rotate them around and then flip them backwards, and this whole piece here is going to rotate around to the rear. And making sure we've got this piece at the front, we can then rotate the torso around so it's at this backwards position, and we can bring that down and lock that into place. Just taking a look at the arm quickly, we can bring the fists in, bend this down and around, bring the armour upwards, bring this out, and you want to just open up those fists, turning them into very nice looking hands. We have this flappy tab section here. This is going to come up, and as that comes up, this is going to just sit behind the top there. And as you can see here, we've got a very nice looking head. That is terrifying. I mean, literally terrifying. Right, get your rider in hand. You want to rotate these shoulders around so they're now at the back, and these arms just buttoned upwards like so. You want to bend his waist down, making good use of that abdominal crunch. The head can rotate, and we can go back like so. This kind of converting into kind of Power Masters. Right, the waist needs to be facing this way, so the crotch is just here, and we can just bend these legs up, and there's a tab just on the inside that's going to push and tab in. His head's popped back up again, hasn't it? Go away. I need everything to tuck down. Nothing really tabs firmly into the back there. I would like something to be on the back just to hold those sections into place. These feet then face backwards, so you're kind of left with this chest piece here. This is going to form the chest unit for the main mech. And if we just take a look at the back here, we've got hole here, hole here, hole here, and we've got 1, 2, 3 tabs. So this should, he says, slide in there nicely, tabbing into 1, 2, and 3. Tabs like that. Look at that, I've done that amazingly well. If you look at the back of your rider's head, there's a circular hole, and there's a tab just in the top of the mech head, and we're going to push that in nicely, just making sure that the neck joint just here tabs in behind this chest pad section. Oh, this is looking really, really nice. Slide these feet upwards at that angle, and as these come up, this is going to just push and secure both of those sections in. And here we have him fully transformed up. I really like how he looks. There's a lot of playability with this line. Now, no, they're not cheap, and yes, they are aimed at adult collectors, but they are an extremely fun line. It's refreshing to have something a little bit different to the average transforming robots. These are highly customizable, incredibly articulated, and done to an exceptionally high standard of production. Now, yes, I would have preferred if there was some ratchet joints in there somewhere, but I understand why they've taken the ball joints and mushroom peg options. That it does keep the costs down, and he holds a pose remarkably well even without those ratchets in tow. I mean, just look at him wielding this huge choppy chainsaw gun, something from the likes of Gears of War. It's a very remarkable line. My wife doesn't want me to collect these, just for the sheer fact that I collect way too much as it is, but I've got a few bits for sale, and surely if I sell something to then buy these, it's kind of cancelling it out, isn't it? I don't know. I like them. I like them a lot. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to afford many of them, I would obviously like at least 2 or 3 of each would be ideal, but that's just not going to happen. Realistically, if I can get 1 of each of the figures, I will be exceptionally happy. It's just with the ability to be so customizable, they're quite addictive. Right, now let's take a look at the figure himself close up. Incredibly nice visor on there at the moment. I love how that skull looks. The head can look up remarkably well and down, left and right, and of course we can quizzically tilt side to side. These handlebars can be stored at the front there or higher up to the back, and we can bring those mirrors up or down depending on which you choose. The shoulders being ball mounted allows for a really nice range forwards and backwards, and we have that butterfly option to bring them inwards and outwards. We have an upper bicep rotation on a mushroom peg, and we have a double jointed elbow allowing for an exceptional range. The wrists are ball mounted, so we get a nice range on there, and they also have a pivot as well, which really aids when holding the weapons. The ball acts as a rotation. The thumb is pinned with an additional point of articulation, as to the fingers. These must be turtles because they've got 3 fingers. The waist can rotate left and right. No abdominal crunch due to this section here all locking into position. We have legs that can come this far forwards, this far backwards. We can go out to the side, hindered a little bit by that armor, but nothing that doing a little bit of a swivel can prevent. Now the knee can bend at 2 points. We have the high knee joint, which is nicely hidden at the top here, but we also have the low knee joint where the ball is mounted, so we can bring that up and down, giving the impression that there's actually a double jointed knee, but in fact we're just rotating the foot further around that wheel joint, and the foot itself can move up and down. We can move it up and down on that wheel, and of course we can pivot side to side and rotate left and right. So yes, if it's really that important to you, you can do a superhero landing. Weapons can be placed nicely in his hands. There are 2 options. He has 2 separate holes in the hands, so we can do a high tab or a low tab depending on which weapon we're using. See, with the chainsaw, for example, we would use the high tab on the hand for that, and we use the low tab on the hand for the top handle. Changing out the faceplate is fairly straightforward. There's just a screw in the back of the head. You want to just remove that screw. The faceplate then just comes away, and we can switch it out for whichever character you decide to use. Again, you're not just limited to these faces either. I know that they do upgrade kits for these as well, which means I'm going to invest more money. Else, if you want to see me review those upgrade kits, then just let me know. These chest panels, as previously mentioned, can just come away and can be replaced by placing the separate piece on. Oh yeah, I like how they look. I'll give you a quick idea of how he scales. That's MP10. We have a masterpiece version of Psykill from Action Toys. So there you go. He is a very large figure, Voyager to leader class in size, and it's a remarkable line. I'm really glad that I managed to get a hold of one of these to take a look at. My wife's probably not going to be as happy, but yes, highly recommended. Great fun figure. I know the likes of Bobby and Pure already have these in hand. I know I'm a little bit late to the party. I am more than willing to invest some of my hard-earned dinero into this Unrustables line. Well done to Cassie Sark and the rest of their team. Really is great seeing this figure out and about, finally being produced. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you have, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, share, and of course subscribe. And of course, personally like to thank Mass Toys for pumping some money into this line because it's fantastic. Until next time, from myself and the Unrustables, goodbye.